Just listen. I'm sorry what I did to Compton.
You are listening to
Fire emergency.
Please don't touch him, listen. I'm sorry I killed that girl.
All right. welcome once again to the Grim Fix podcast. I am one of your hosts, David. I am here with JR and Charles in the house.
Yo.
Welcome back. Like always, we are excited to be here. Things are looking good for the podcast. Things are looking good, man. Our subscribers have tripled, which is awesome.
Awesome.
I'm like super excited. So yeah, we are here once again. Our last podcast. By the time this comes out, it's already December. Actually, yeah.
Yes, December what?
December. I don't know.
The 5th, I think it is.
So yeah, December. Christmas is around the corner. Winter's around the corner. Winter is coming.
It'll be like brick.
So yeah, man. I mean, so far, have you guys gotten snow up there?
Actually, we got what? Some flakes. Not a whole lot. Not like Buffalo. Buffalo got what? 6 feet.
Yeah, they got a lot.
We didn't get shit.
Charles, you got snow over there?
Not yet.
He's got the flakes from somebody scratching their head and all the dandruff.
Oh, dandruff.
Yep.
So here it hasn't snowed yet. It was raining all day today.
Up here too.
Yeah, temperature's been like up and down. It gets cold and it gets kind of warm, and that's why everybody's all sick and everybody's coughing at work and doing this shit. Like, I refuse to be wearing a mask all day. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that unless I really have to. So, yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I've been wearing a mask all freaking day.
Yeah, you wear it in the house too?
No, not in the house.
Oh.
In the hospital. I've been in the hospital, so.
De los que van al carro solo with the mask.
Yeah, man, those who drive.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of those, yo. Driving with a mask on, like nobody wants to,
by themselves.
Notice. Yo, that's so they can drive like shit and nobody will notice who the hell it is.
Yeah.
And if they put on some sunglasses and a hat, it's straight.
It's annoying. It's annoying. I mean, look, if you have whatever a condition, you're immunocompromised, I get it, wear it. But I mean, I see these people that are just fine and they're just afraid and they're just wearing masks all day. And I don't know. I see this whole what is it, the RSV or something like that it's called. Something respiratory, something virus.
Something.
Again, we are not professionals. We know dick.
We know dick.
Something that's going on. And I truly believe it's all the time that people wore masks. It's like they coddled their immune system. And now when you take it off, you're being exposed to all, everything that's out there. So it hits you harder in the beginning. But eventually,
they see some guy sneezing and they're already coughing and sneezing themselves.
No, man, I'm assuming, right? Again, I am not a doctor, but I'm assuming that, as you expose yourself to this, your immune system, I don't know, gets stronger again. I don't know. So, this week, I have been watching. So first of all, I saw Wednesday. You guys saw Wednesday?
I actually haven't seen it yet. I haven't sat down to watch it. I've heard it was good.
I was actually very, very pleasantly surprised. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I did skip something. I was working, so I'm like working on the computer, watching the TV. My wife watched it, and I mean, but what I saw most of it. I maybe missed half of like 2 different episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was actually very surprised at how good it was. I was a little annoyed with using Luis Guzman as
yes.
Why?
I haven't seen it, and I was like upset with that.
Okay, so Wednesday they made her, now she's Hispanic, basically, right?
Yeah, Jenna Ortega.
I think she did a great Wednesday. So okay, so now I mean in the Addams Family movies, right? It was Raul Julia,
Right.
who was also
Yep.
Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
So they used him, but he was so Gomez, the
I
character
found him like
Gomez,
the best.
huh?
To me, he was the best.
I think he did a great Gomez, but that's what I'm saying. Gomez was a character that he was very charming. He was very Rico Suave, right? You know, he was smooth. And then you put Luis Guzman, and it's like all that smoothness goes out the window. It's like
Just
He-
with appearance.
A funny
I'm-
guy.
I mean,
That's
listen,
what-
I love Luis Guzman. I think he's a
No,
great
he's done-
actor, and he's a Puerto Rican pride, if you want to call it that. That's awesome.
He made
But it's
Gomez
just-
funny.
Huh?
He made Gomez funny.
I mean, he barely has any lines, which was a good thing for me because, again, it's just I feel like he was playing himself. He wasn't
Mhm.
being Gomez. He was being the same
Funny
person
guy.
he is in every movie.
Okay.
Like
Get it.
you seen Shameless? No.
Uh,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Anyway, so I feel like every character he does, he's a little funny and he's very sloppy. I don't know. Just he's very like whatever. And so he plays Gomez, and the few lines that he does talk, I feel like he's being that person. But again, I'm not trying to shit on him. I just think he wasn't a good cast for this. Everybody else I think was pretty great on the casting. Again, Wednesday I think was like she was really good. Morticia, which is what's this lady's name?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think she did good. I mean, but the series is actually pretty good. And by the way it ends, I'm assuming they're making another one.
No, it depends. See how the ratings go.
Yeah, no, bro, it's the top #1 show
Oh,
ever
really?
streamed on Netflix. Like it beat
Oh.
Stranger Things.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stranger Things season 4 that everybody was waiting for. That like in less than a week, or let's say a week, it beat.
Pero ¿quién fue que hizo esto? Tim Burton.
Yeah, Tim Burton.
Oh,
And you could
there
see it's
go.
a Tim Burton thing. You could
Of
see, like, I don't know,
course.
Tim Burton has that touch.
darkness.
He has
Oh,
that
well,
touch. I
there you
don't know.
go.
He makes things look that you can see, like, oh, this is Tim Burton behind this. And this girl, what's her name? Ricci, the one that played Wednesday
Nicole
in the movie.
Richie.
Huh?
Nicole Richie.
Nicole Ricci.
It's not Nicole Richie, Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci, right?
Christina. Oh, whoops. Wow. Now, who else?
I was loading. Nicole Richie was
no,
Paris,
I've been
Paris
saying-
Hilton's
No, the
girlfriend.
funny thing is, I've been saying it and I felt weird.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's why I
like,
said Ricci, because I know there's a Nicole and Christina
Nicole
Ricci.
Richie, and I'm like,
So Christina
Nicole
Ricci,
Richie's
right?
the blonde chick, right?
She's
I think that's the
Lionel Richie's
adopted-
daughter.
Yeah,
right?
the adoptive, daughter. of
Okay, so
Lionel
then, see, wow, I felt so stupid.
So yeah,
I really like.
she comes out and she plays a different character, but I don't know. I really think it was good. You guys should watch this on Netflix.
I'll be watching.
All
it.
our
My
listeners
daughter's
out
watching.
there, I recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up. Ooh. Listen,
Wow.
podcast, you guys gotta learn that when we put our stamp of approval on something, you gotta go and watch it. Unless it's Charles. Charles says it's good. You gotta go. You see, Charles is my brother, and I do love him, but Charles is like Rotten Tomatoes to me. When I see Rotten Tomatoes and I see the numbers very high, that's when I don't watch a movie. I see the numbers very low, it's like, it must be a good movie. I'm kidding.
I just don't have expectations.
But yeah, Wednesday, pretty good, man. Let me see what else. So I started watch. You guys must think I watch a ton of TV. I really don't. I space my things out, right?
Mhm.
Unless if I'm working, like if I'm
You have a
editing.
certain selection.
So if I'm editing, let's say my wife will start watching, like it'll be right here. So the TV's there, she'll watch, and I'll watch certain things unless I really get into it. And if I get into it, then once I finish, I go and I sit down and watch. But everything else, I like space. I usually watch the same thing. Everybody Loves Raymond, The Office. That's what I watch every night. That's something I do watch every night before going to sleep. But I started watching this show called White Lotus. It's one of those shows that nothing really happens, but it keeps you watching and you don't know why. Because to be honest, nothing happens.
You see, that right there makes me want to watch it.
But it's actually a show I can recommend people to watch because I don't know what. So let's set the premise without giving anything away. But apparently, I get asked this like, so what is it about? I want to say it's about hotels and what happens in hotels. That's it. Because season 1 it only has 2 seasons out. And season 1 takes place in Hawaii. So you're seeing these different groups of people, right? So there's a family, they're kind of dysfunctional, and they have the daughter's friend is with them, right? You see this other lady, she's by herself, she's grieving because her mom passed away, and she's walking around with her mom's ashes to spread them in a beach in Hawaii.
Clarification, ashes.
So no, and then they're like, who else is there? And then this newlywed couple. So they focus on these 3 groups of people, and you see what they go through in the hotel, what they're going through in their personal lives. Like, you have the typical kids that are wealthy and they don't appreciate anything. And then you see the hotel staff, especially the manager. The manager is a man who battles with addiction. So he's been on the wagon, I guess, when you're like sober.
Mm-hmm.
He's battling not to fall off the wagon. But it actually keeps you, it's interesting. And then season 2, and then, shit happens and blah, blah, blah. So that's what you're waiting for because they allude to it. And you're like, oh, shit. I do recommend watching it. And then season 2, I'm still watching. I'm like on episode 3, is about the hotel in Italy. And then the same lady that was walking around with the ashes, who she meets somebody, whatever, in Hawaii. In this season, she's married to this person. And then you see shit happen. And there's like,
I guess everything is intertwined.
But nothing happens.
But so far in this season, nothing's happened.
Nothing happened. And yeah, he's telling everyone
watching it
to watch it. Yeah.
So that's why I
like
told my wife, I was like,
Yellowstone.
it's kind of brilliant, the fact that nothing really happens, yet you want to see if something's gonna happen in the next episode.
It intrigues you.
Yeah.
But what do you want it to happen? Like somebody gets shot, somebody gets stabbed.
I mean,
like...
but that's why it's around, even though it's categorized, I think, as like comedy, it's not funny to me at all. I mean, it has this little bits here and there, but I don't think it's funny at all. But it's also why I started watching it. I thought it was like murder mystery, and it kind of is. Season 1, season 2, I can't tell because I haven't finished it. But that's why I don't want to ruin it for you guys. That's what. But
okay,
you're waiting for something to happen, and but it's not really murder mystery because there's no mystery.
Yo, give it about 2 or 3 more podcasts, and he's gonna come with that face with like mind blown. Oh shit! Something did happen.
Hey, I saw season 1, and something does happen, but it's not the main thing of the
main
season.
plot, like
no, like something happens. Like, oh, okay, and that's it. Like it connects. The last episode connects to the first. That's it. But it's not something that you're like, holy shit! I knew. No, none of that. But it keeps you watching. It's kind of brilliant in that way.
Nothing happens.
So
it's a nothing happened movie.
I do recommend it. People to watch it. Watch White Lotus. Pretty good. So, how did you guys spend Thanksgiving?
Stuffed.
I spent it in the hospital.
Did you? Oh yeah, you were. Yeah.
I spent it in the hospital.
Yeah.
I had my turkey over there. I had a little turkey sandwich.
Nice.
So that's just banging, yo. I prefer that little. It's like it's just taking the hamburger bun and putting like 3 slabs of turkey, just fold it, and that's it.
Swiss cheese.
Yo,
No, not
you put
even no
mayo
cheese
on
or no
that shit.
nothing.
Fuego.
Wrapped
Mayo,
up in a
yes.
saran wrap, and when they
Lettuce.
give it to you, I don't know, it's just banging for some reason.
Like today at work, I took a veggie burger. I put it in a whole wheat flour tortilla because there was no bread. I took a stick of cheese, one of those sticks,
Mm-hmm.
threw it in there, slathered it in some mayo, some lettuce and tomato, and just like wrapped it up like a cone because it wasn't even like a burrito. And yeah, it was good.
Sounds good.
So yeah. So I mean Thanksgiving, it was pretty cool this year. It's usually just me, my wife, and my son for the main part. So this year we went to Jersey, visit some cousins. I just spent a few hours. I wasn't there long because we got there in the afternoon. I want to say we got there like around 4, and by 8 o'clock, I think we were already leaving. But there was so much food, man. I'm talking about so much food. There was turkey and pernil.
Yeah, you know how our cousin is. She could
dude, but I'm talking about they went in. There was chicken and there was like 3 different types of dip. One was chicken, one was ground beef. They had tortilla chips. They had arroz con gandule. They had patele. They had flan. They had cupcakes. My wife made some coquito cupcakes. What else? I'm telling. Oh, there was these big trays of little empanadillas. There was chicken and pizza and beef.
For all the people that don't know what's an empanadilla, it's turnovers.
Yeah, well, usually here they call them empanadas.
But empanada is really something else.
Yeah, but that's how they call them here. Because I think Dominicans call them empanadas. I think. I don't know, but I know that a lot of people here know them as empanadas. But yeah, yo, so much food. I'm telling you, my cousin, she took one of those big like serving trays, aluminum trays. She was like, "Here, take some food." I didn't. She asked her, she goes, "You got a bowl?" I'm like, I'm not that person that carries with a bowl. Like, oh, I'm taking this home. No. So she took one of those trays and she just filled it up with rice and turkey and pernil and mollejita en escabeche.
Oh wow!
She put some of that. She put they had potato salad. They had what do you call that, baby? Lo codito.
Macaroni salad.
Macaroni salad. Oh, they had a ham.
Jeez,
dude, there was so much food, man.
It reminds me of the Nutty Professor.
So much food, but yeah. So yeah, that was my Thanksgiving. And
all they needed was the farting in it.
And then that was Thursday, and then Saturday, my wife's family invited us over for dinner, and we went, and they also made pernil and some rice, and they had cheesecake and what is it, the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows and stuff on top.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of eating. I probably gained like 5 pounds this weekend.
Well, nice. Just alone by going to our cousin's house and looking at all the food, he gained 10.
Good stuff. So
I got this joke antes de que empiece.
Gotcha. Go ahead. Shoot.
Better be funny, man.
What happened to the cannibal who ate his own arm?
This better be funny. It better be funny.
He shat
cannibal who ate his own arm?
Yeah, he shat himself.
I don't get it.
He shat himself.
Look, David's over there going, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yo.
I still don't get it. He shot himself.
He shat himself.
Okay, but
we gotta get the definition of shat.
Past tense of shit.
Oh, really?
He ate his own arm.
I must have the most doofiest look in my face right now, but I'm still trying to like make the funny in my head to see.
Bruh. Look at this dude.
All right. Yeah.
It's one of those.
Oh.
No, 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 no,
All right.
Yo, you gotta put it. We're not professional. He's not a professional comedian.
I'm still trying to like I get it. Okay, he ate the cannibal that ate his own arm.
Yeah, what happened to the cannibal who ate his own arm? He shat himself.
I still don't get it. All right. I get what you're saying. I do. I understand what you're saying.
That's a joke.
Okay.
No.
No. All right. The topic for today that we will be discussing was actually picked by Charles. I found it very interesting. It's, to be honest, I don't think it's a topic I would have ever thought of. So it's awesome like that. Do you have something specific here? Because I have a list. I have a list of 20 caregivers who murdered their patients.
Is it from the same website?
I don't know. What website?
I used Thought Catalog.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So
I got the other one from ranker.com.
From
So he's
who?
gonna have a couple of different ones.
Ranker, I got another page.
Ranker?
Do you have a list or
Ranker?
do you have a case?
No, I have 17 serial killer nurses who murdered patients in hospitals from ranker.com.
All right. So who wants to go with the first one?
Oh,
Let me see.
you
Okay,
want me to go
let me
first?
let me read right the premise of this article, right? This is from thoughtcatalog.com, written by Jim Goad. This was last updated on March 21st, 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just like the way he presents it, so I think it's a cool way for us to introduce the topic, right? So it says here, imagine the horror of spending your last moments realizing that the person who is entrusted to save your life, I'm assuming, because there's a commercial here in the way. It says a 2006 study found that nurses, this is mind-blowing to me, account for 86% of all murders by healthcare workers. Psychologists say that they do it for a feeling of psychological power, for material gain, because they feel they're performing a public service by disposing of someone they've tagged as, quote, evil, end quote, or simply because they get a thrill out of killing people.
Mm-hmm.
What makes such murderers especially frustrating is that they're so hard to trace. On the body counts below, look at the difference between confirmed victims, which are the ones that were determined in a court of law to have been murdered based on evidence, and those the killers are only suspected of slaying. With these 20 murders alone, there are at least 1,000 victims whose family members will never be sure how or why they died. Dun, dun, dun.
Crazy. 80 what? 81%?
86%. Yeah, 86%.
Yo, you know what? So irony, me being in the hospital with my wife and reading about this.
I mean, it makes sense that 86% is by nurses. I'm not saying that nurses are killers, just in case. But it makes sense being that they're the ones. I mean, doctors obviously have. I mean, doctors are in and out here and there. I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously, if they're 86, who are the other 14%? So yeah, I guess nurses are the ones that have the quickest access to people. They're the ones who spend nights with the patients.
Yep.
They're not constantly monitored. So yeah, I can see that.
It reminds me of the Kill Bill scene. Remember the Kill Bill scene?
I don't. I remember seeing
My name is Buck, and I came here to fuck.
My name is Buck, and I'm here to fuck.
You
No,
don't remember that?
no.
I don't
I
remember.
saw those
That,
movies.
that,
I
that
saw
she was
both
getting raped
once.
by the guy on coma.
It's been a
And
while since I've seen it, so
All right.
No, I haven't seen it. I mean, I have seen it, just don't remember. I'm
Mm.
telling you, I saw both of those movies. I saw them once when they first came out, and I never saw them.
exactly.
I was obsessed with those movies.
Really?
I liked them. Yes.
All right, so let's jump into case number one. Whoever wants to say it, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump into it. I got one here. It's Dane Toppan or Toppan or Toppan? I don't know.
Jane Toppan. Okay.
Toppan, yeah, right, okay. Jane Toppan got a sexual thrill out of climbing into bed with patients as they died.
Gee.
She has 31 confirmed victims. And it says, referred to as Jolly Jane for an allegedly amiable demeanor, at least when she wasn't murdering people. That is, Toppan was born Honora Kelly in 1854 to an abusive and demented father who was rumored to have once sewn his own eyelids shut. Jane once stated that her life's mission was to have killed more people, helpless people, than any other man or woman who ever lived. Toppan not only used a homemade poison to kill medical patients, though she also poisoned her foster sister and more than one of her landlords. After her 1901 arrest, an article in Indiana, the Hoosier State Chronicles claimed that she told investigators that she experienced a sex thrill from watching patients come close to death, get revived, and then slip back into a permanent death. She also said she would climb into bed with patients while they died, fondle them, and stare into their eyes in an attempt to read their souls. Now, what is she thinking? What kind of shit is that? Getting your jolly to, I don't know, play with somebody's wanker while he
That's
just
why they call her Jolly Jane. Yeah.
What is she supposed to get out of it?
Wow.
That's
So
it.
fetishes.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
but-
The fact, I mean, but look at the whole process. She would poison them, and she would get thrilled to see them close to death, come back. Which I noticed. I think there's more than one case in this list where it talks about that they would get a thrill on taking the patients close to death and then bringing them back, and then slowly seeing them die. But then while you're doing that, you're also playing with somebody's wiener. I mean, we're assuming she was doing it to men, right? But also
well,
women, you know.
It doesn't say it's only men. I'm guessing it's either.
That's what. So you're playing with their genitalia. It's just, I mean, I don't get it. Like the joke.
Why?
Because she shat herself.
Because she shat herself. Get it?
No.
Yeah, but it's, I don't, yeah, I'm telling you, there's sick people out there, man. It's
I
just,
don't get it.
they do these, see, like the other case, the first one on this list, I found interesting because of, I think it's her, yeah. She would, no, is this one? No, I don't think it's this one. Yeah, it is this one. That she would do things to patients, but bring them back so she could be the hero.
Oh, yeah.
So she can get, like pats on the back and, like, oh, you're so great. And but she was very weird because she was also, so one of the things, right, the common denominators that I've noticed as we discuss more and more cases, usually it's the abusive father, right? Mainly most cases, not all, but mainly most cases, it's usually the father. He's either a drunk or he's just nuts or they're very religious and they're just nuts, right? And the other thing that I see is religion plays a very big role on the mind state of a lot of these people. They create, and I'm not saying religion is bad. I mean, I believe in God, but I mean, even though believing in God and religion is two different things to me personally.
Some people just force it or overdo it.
Is that some people take everything literal and then they come up with these theories of how they need to live life, and it becomes crazy. I don't know. It's like what they say, that they drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So I mean, this one is pretty quick, right? Her name is Genene Jones, and she said she didn't kill babies, right? She said, quote, oh, even though it's a quote, yeah. She says, I didn't kill the babies, the voices in my head did, right? So she, a hypersexual, although unappealing, for those of you watching on YouTube, you will see how unappealing she is. Adopted, a hypersexual, being adopted, quote unquote, black sheep of her family. This Texas pediatric nurse was reportedly observed in the 1970s and early 1980s doing super strange things, such as using a saline syringe to squirt the sign of the cross over herself. That's why I say, like, the whole religion thing is like, they get into these mindsets, man, and it's just insane. So she would do the cross over herself with the saline syringe, and she would do it also to the infants in her care. She would also sing to infant corpses while preparing them for the morgue. She even went up to ripping an infant's cadaver out of its parents' arms and then running to the morgue with it herself.
Oh my God.
So, like many such quote-unquote angels of death, Jones appeared to get psychological rush out of injecting her prey with something harmful. In her case, it was succinylcholine. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm pretty sure I butchered that.
Is a paralytic.
Yep. What do you mean, like a paralyzing medication?
Yeah, it's a chemical that they put inside the person when they're gonna operate.
So look at that. And then she would storm into quote unquote rescue them at the last minute, gaining plaudits and admiration in the process. Even after being caught as a serial killer, she evaded responsibility, saying, quote, I didn't kill the babies, the voice in my head did. The end.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, man.
Voices in their head.
The voices in their head. Yeah. It's like, who was it? The son of Sam? Instead of the dog used to talk to him?
Yes.
Oh, shit. You guys saw this?
Yeah, I was actually admiring it.
Oh.
You I mean, you sent to make it, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So I wanted to put the Grim Fix spot, but it didn't fit. So I had to put Grim Fix Street. I had to put it somewhere. I gotta take off. Still in plastic. Anyway, Charles.
I got from ranker.com. This is April A. Taylor updated this on October 26th of this year, and it says 17 serial killer nurses who murdered patients in hospitals. And I have a curious one. Let me look for it. Click. It says Orville Lynn Majors killed patients who were whiny or demanding.
We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we haven't killed anyone, but we've had that thought. When you hear somebody overdoing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it says in 1999, Orville Lynn Majors was given the unusual sentence of 360 years in prison for his 3-year criminal spree that took the lives of up to 130 patients. He worked in a hospital in Clinton, in Indianapolis, from 1993 to 1995, and the small town hospital's fatality rate shot up by a staggering amount after Majors was hired. It was estimated that 33 of all the patients admitted to the hospital passed during this time period, and the odds of expiring when Majors was on the clock were much higher than usual. So they were already onto him that something was fishy. Says although the prosecutors were never able to put together a concrete motive, it was reported in the Journal of Forensic Sciences that Majors selected his victims based partially on which patients were whiny and the most demanding. Andy Harris, who was once Majors' roommate, testified that Majors believed the elderly should all be gassed.
So they say. I'm not sure how true it is. Do you know his last name is Majors?
Yeah.
Do you know who's Lee Majors? David must know.
He might
not remember by name. He's supposed to be, I think he's supposed to be family to Lee Majors. He's the Bionic Man.
I'm gonna remember that in a show from the 70s, right? Lee Majors.
That's it. 70s, 80s.
Lee Majors. So wow. I'm not. Let me clarify this first. I'm not saying anybody deserved to die. I'm not saying I'm glad that this happened. But as a nurse, as a person who has to take shit, literally and figuratively, it must be kind of satisfying, right? To be like, this fucker is so loud, so obnoxious. This person's always I'm not talking about the nasty, because there are patients that are very nasty.
Yes.
To nurses. And sometimes nurses can be assholes. Yes. I mean, in PR, I can count probably with one hand the times I encountered nice nurses in Puerto Rico. They're always all nasty, super stank attitude, and I don't understand why. I mean, I get it. You're probably taking shit. Okay, but you're taking shit and you're taking it out on the wrong people. Because I can come and be like, hey, excuse me, can I ask a question? And be like, wow, what do you want? Like stuff like that. Like, that's so unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the attitude. Truth is, you got to understand people and the family members. When the family member's in the hospital, they might not be the sick person, but they're also going through a lot with the person they're there with, right?
All right.
So I think that empathy is very important, and a lot of hospitals lack this, right? With that said, there's also patients that sometimes can be very whiny, very obnoxious, and sometimes their situation isn't even that serious.
Yeah, they're abusive.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, as an abused nurse, I could kind of see how it's kind of satisfying to be like, I need to shut this person up. Like, oh my God, that sounds terrible. But
just like the person that works at a fast food restaurant and gets his jollies by doing something to the food.
Or just, you know how satisfying just to be like, you know what, just to be able to, like, why don't you just go fuck yourself? Like, just being able to do that.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I could tell, you know that my wife used to be a nurse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she had one patient that she went to help out. She's very that I give her, you know, she was very patient. You know, she had that empathy for the patients because it's the way she said she treats the patients the way she would like someone to treat her family member or herself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So she goes into this patient's room and out of the blue smacks the shit out of literally with shit in his hands.
Wow.
I mean, just a clump right in his hand and smacked it right in the face. Come on, wouldn't you want to kill that person? Wouldn't you want to put
I would like to put a pillow over their face, like we're getting out of hand here.
Yeah. It's something that I'm not applauding, but it's something that you would feel being in that situation. And yet she didn't feel that way. You know, she got upset,
Yeah.
But she didn't do nothing, she didn't do nothing to that person, and she just walked away. She let someone else attend them.
Can we please discuss the next case, please? JR.
Okay. Okay.
I need to get me one of those.
I got one here. His name is Niels Hagel. He was born and wanted to show off. He actually has 85 victims and 300 suspected victims. It says prosecutors alleged that this German serial killer administered different fatally potential drugs to patients because he was born and wished to show off his skills at the art of resuscitation.
He was bored.
Huh? Well,
He was bored.
Bored.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Nothing better to do. It is estimated that he was successful in 2/3 of the cases. Excuse me. Hagel was originally convicted and sentenced to life for 6 murders, then for 85 point. I mean, 85.
85, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like all together. In 2017, prosecutors said he was responsible for murdering 106 patients. He confessed at trial a year later to 43 of those murders, claiming with a possibly bored and affected air that he couldn't remember whether or not he killed the rest. I think that's it. I'm not sure.
Jeez, man. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. What kind of shit is that?
100 and what? 105?
100.
So he has 85 confirmed victims, but suspected victims is 300.
300.
He admitted to 43 of those murders. Why didn't this guy get the death penalty? I have no idea.
Because he was, it's a balance, I guess. He was being
think
a hero.
Think about it. Walk by 85 people. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
I don't even know 85 people.
You know, like
I don't even have 85 in my Facebook.
Like 300. Look at this. Suspected victims, 300. Like, that's a lot of fucking people, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like the male nurses are I feel like back then, right? Back then it was a thing that you had to say male nurse. Now you don't say that anymore. Now it's just nurse. All right, so I got one here. His name is Charles Cullen. He may be the most prolific serial killer in world history. He has confirmed number of victims are 29 and number of suspected victims is 400. With a lifelong history of mental illness, he attempted to kill himself at age 9 by chugging down some chemicals from his chemistry set. Cullen was a perfect candidate to become a serial killer. Dang. Right. Despite the fact that patients kept dying in mysteriously large numbers whenever he found employment, Cullen was operating during a nursing shortage in the 1980s and 1990s that enabled him to keep getting jobs. So that would be like now, right? There's such a shortage that basically anybody looking for a job can get a job.
Yep.
If you're a nurse, especially like in his hospitals that are suffering like nurse shortage, bro, you could probably have a rap sheet and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Right. In 2000, near the tail end of its 16-year killing spree, he again attempted suicide by lighting a charcoal grill in his bathtub and hoping to perish from the fumes. See, this is what I find stupid.
Why do people want to kill themselves in the most complicated way?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you really wanted to kill yourself, come on, man. Like, you're suspected of killing 400 people. You couldn't figure out killing yourself twice? All right. Instead, he was convicted of 29 murders Investigators suspect him of being responsible for up to 400 slayings, which would make him the most prolific serial killer in world history. The end.
Damn.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Charles Cullen.
Charles in charge.
All right.
That's crazy.
Anybody got another one?
Yes, I got Kimberly Science injected patients with bleach.
Interesting.
Kimberly Science is a convicted medical serial killer who obtained her last job by falsifying information on her application. This led to tragic consequences for at least 5 people, although there were suspicious circumstances surrounding medical complications that afflicted 16 patients. During a single 30-day time period in 2008, the dialysis center where Science worked called for emergency assistance 30 times. To put this into perspective, only 2 emergency calls have been placed during the previous 15 months. So basically, on the time that she was there, they called for assistance 30 times. Like, something weird was happening.
Wow.
Science still denies she did anything wrong, but 2 of her co-workers testified they saw her inject bleach into dialysis lines. Investigators also discovered Science had performed web searches to determine whether or not bleach could be detected in a dialysis line. Science was able to avoid the death penalty, but she will be behind bars for the rest of her life.
What's her name again?
Kimberly Science.
Kimberly Symes. The
It's
bleach
crazy.
killer.
The bleach killer.
Bleach killer. Damn, that's fucked up.
It is.
I remember, what was it last year? Was it the last year that Trump made a joke about that? You guys ever heard about that? That when COVID was happening, they didn't have a shot yet, and they were like, "Oh no, maybe we can inject bleach to disinfect ourselves or some shit like that."
Oh,
I think I do.
I think there was actually stupid people that actually tried that.
Really? Oh my god.
Hey, all right, JR, you got something there?
Yeah, I got Kristen Gilbert.
Okay,
She wanted to impress her boyfriend.
nice.
She has 4 victims confirmed and 80 plus suspected. Okay, this Massachusetts nurse, whose youth was pockmarked with suicide attempts and violence, was convicted of 4 murders and 2 attempted murders via purposely injecting patients with monster doses of heart stimulant epinephrine.
Epinephrine, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
First of all, she
Monster.
shouldn't be a nurse if she shouldn't be a nurse if she had 2 attempts of suicide.
Yeah.
You know, no. Federal law dictates that Veterans Administration police officers need to show up during all emergency situations, and it was speculated that Gilbert's primary motivations for injecting and then reviving patients was so that her boyfriend, VA officer, I guess it's Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Will keep showing up and be endlessly impressed with Kristen's heroism. When co-workers became suspicious about Gilbert and an investigation was launched, she phoned in a bomb threat to the hospital in attempt to distract everyone. Later that year, she checked herself into psychiatric facilities on 7 separate occasions. And yes, everyone does something wrong and they want to claim that they're crazy and join a psychiatric hospital. That's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like all these people. I've met so many people in PR that they hit themselves in the chest going, I'm crazy, and if I hurt you, the cops can't do shit on me. You know how much I hate that.
Yeah, that's so normal over there.
Touch.
So at her trial, prosecutors said she only used injections as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
She once attacked someone with a large kitchen knife and also poured scalding water on a mentally handicapped child.
Oh,
She was
Jeez.
convicted in 2001 on 3 accounts of first-degree murder. Yo, so she was injecting monster doses of epinephrine.
Monster.
That shit, I'm imagining that shit must that could blow up somebody's heart, no?
Yeah.
Epinephrine is what they give people that have an allergic reaction.
mm-hmm.
So isn't that like what do you call that? Oh my god, what do you call that when you're very
Adrenaline.
adrenaline? I don't know.
So the key word is monster. Monster
Yeah, that's what I'm
dose.
saying. Yeah, like monster doses.
Not a large dose, a monster dose.
All right, so I have one here. Okay, her name is Ludivine Chambiet, the poisoner of Chambery. Her confirmed number of victims is 10. This one is pretty short. The unlicensed, that's a red flag right there. The unlicensed French nurse's aide was reported to have crumbled psychologically after her mother died of leukemia. But rather than working out her agony constructively, she poisoned 13 elderly nursing home patients between 2012 and 2013, killing 10 of them. While acknowledging that her life had been traumatic, a judge cautioned people not to feel sorry for the killer. It said Ludivine Chambiet is dangerous, even with her little girlish ways. The horror of the case is undisputable. These are serial murders. However, the psychiatrists believe that believe these are disputable. These are serial murders. However, the psychiatrists believe that the impassive air of Ludivine Chambiet did not reveal a murderous nature in this woman, but to the contrary, the fragility and psychic immaturity of her mind. I don't know what was the purpose of that, but yeah, she killed 10 people. So yeah, within 1 year.
Just because she was grieving.
Yeah, basically. But I don't get that. Like the whole, I believe that these psych evals need to be more frequent when it comes to jobs like this, when it comes to police officers, people that deal with traumatic situations, nurses,
community
doctors.
service. Yeah.
Yeah, there should be everywhere. I'm not talking about just America. I'm talking about everywhere. There should be these psych evals that happen frequently to see if you're fit to keep doing the job. Because the fact that she's an unregistered, an unlicensed French, or she was a nurse's aide, but still, she's unlicensed, meaning she's not really prepared to do the job she was doing.
Okay.
You go to the hospital to get some assistance and you end up getting killed.
By somebody that's supposed to be helping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the irony of all this shit. Again, I know sometimes patients are not easy, and the truth is, I mean, we might joke around and all that, but the truth is, if you're not fit for that job, then you should move out the way and leave it for someone who is.
That's a job that you got to be very patient.
You got to be very patient. You got to be very empathetic, because that's what. To me, that's like the main thing. Like if I go to a hospital with someone and I see how they treat everyone and they're nice and they're, accommodating, you feel safe. All right. So, anyone else want to discuss another case?
I have one. Like it says, Daniela Poggiale ended her patients and then took selfies with them.
Nice.
Italian nurse Daniela Poggiale allegedly killed at least 90 of her patients on purpose because they were bothersome. While she vehemently denied the charges, the Italian government thought otherwise and charged her in 2014 with the crimes. Not only Daniela presented for 96 deaths during her time as a nurse, a very high number according to authorities, she also took selfies with her deceased patients. Police said she stole money. Really?
Yeah, I think I kind of remember 2014. You remember something like that. No, but keep reading. Go ahead.
It says police said she stole money and jewelry from the victims and bragged to others that she killed them because they annoyed her.
It's a good reason.
What? Why would you take selfies with?
I don't know. All this, it's like
Get-
the one that I read before that you're looking into their eyes. You know what movie it reminds me of? Martyrs.
Okay.
Remember the
I
movie
can
Why?
see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Why?
You remember seeing the movie Martyrs, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to see something in their eyes that when they see, I guess, it's heaven, some sort of thing like that. I don't know.
They're trying to see how people transition from life to
Mhm.
death. If there is
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that person, what was her name? What was the name you read? The Jolly Jane, right?
Yeah,
Toppan.
Toppan.
Jolly
Toppan,
Jane.
that she would
Jolly Jane.
play with their wang and then like look into their eyes while she's just watching them fade away. Like, yeah, that's creepy, man.
I'm telling you, reminds me of the Kill Bill scene.
I could just imagine her just
What
grabbing
happens in the
like-
Kill Bill scene?
That she's in coma, and then she figures out that the nurse is raping her while she's in coma, and then she slices her his heel, and then she drags him to the door, and she's like, "Where's Bill?" Bam! And she slams on the door. "Where's Bill?" Bam! And then she remembers that the guy goes into the room and he says, "I'm Bug and I'm here to fuck." And then she goes like, "Oh, your name is Bug, right? And you're here to fuck, right?" Bam! And she kills him.
I gotta watch that movie again. I'm Buck and I'm here to fuck.
And I'm here to fuck.
That sounds so. I don't know.
It's Quentin Tarantino, dude.
I know it is. You can hear it. You can hear it in the type of movie it is.
Yep, in the description of the scene. Yeah.
It's just scenes like that always make me uncomfortable. Like it's like in Halloween, the Rob Zombie version, when the two guys have the girl and they're like raping her, and he's like touching her toe, and he goes, "Here, smell this, Mikey." You like,
Yeah.
smell, Mikey. Some shit. Like,
He starts smacking him. Yeah.
No, and también the scene where in Pulp Fiction where they got him tied up and he
Oh my
that scene.
god.
Like I remember when the first time I saw that, I was so shocked. I was like, "Holy shit! I can't believe they went there." But yeah,
Didn't Jim Carrey do a movie like that? I think
Did
Jim
he?
Carrey did a movie. I'm not sure if it was Jim
Did he?
Carrey. It was a weird movie. Trying to remember now.
All of Jim Carrey movies are weird.
Yeah. But I think
I
he did.
don't remember.
Oh my god, I'm so.
But it's like a violent movie.
No. Well, like I said, I just kind of read in a little article. It was talking about that movie where I think Jim Carrey was playing a character that was gay.
Okay.
Oh, I Love You, Philip Morris.
Right. And I think there's
Yes.
a scene like that where he's getting banged.
I don't remember the movie, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Never seen it. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, I Love You, Philip Morris.
Is it a recent movie? Or...
No.
Not that he's done any recent movies.
It's actually,
Like one of his.
I don't think it's
latest
that
movies?
old. I don't think it's that old, but I don't think it's that recent either.
It's one of those movies that if you're not a Jim Carrey fan, you won't know about that.
I
Yeah.
am a Jim Carrey fan. That's what I'm saying, but I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's
It wasn't
gay
like-
and he goes to prison because he's after this dude, I think. I don't remember that. I don't
That
remember
was
it
one
that
of his,
well, but
his latest movies.
not latest, but it's not of his early work.
I've never heard of it. I swear.
You should Google it, dude.
I think I stopped watching his movies after Me, Myself, and Irene. I didn't care for that movie. And then I watched 23. Was pretty good.
Ace Ventura, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, they're coming out with a new one.
Ace Ventura.
that's the
Oh,
best.
and Dumb and Dumber, dude.
Especially part 2, man. Ace Ventura 2. Oh God.
I like the first one better.
Really? Nah, man.
Yes.
I found Ace Ventura 2 was so fucking hilarious. Like, I mean, the first one was funny, but part 2, it's like
Hilarious.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie that they do that. Like in part 2, I found it way better than part 1. Damn,
Well, scary movie too.
that
He
movie
goes-
slaps. Your balls are showing.
Your balls are showing.
Your balls are showing. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Like, God, such a great movie. Yeah. Love it. And Dumb and Dumber, forget it.
Part 2, I didn't
Dumb
like
and
too
Dumber.
much.
No, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh, the first one.
But for that movie, that's another one I saw in the theaters a bunch of times. And Ace Ventura 2 also, I saw it a bunch of times in the theaters. So good. Your balls are showing.
Bobby Tuna.
Oh my God, what a fucking great movie. All right.
Chicago.
Chicago. Shawshank Redemption. Oh man. I'm gonna title this episode Your balls are showing. Your balls are showing killer nurses.
Killer Nurse episode.
Your balls are showing.
Bumblebee tuna?
Oh man. I forgot to say in the beginning of this. If you haven't subscribed, please
You still thinking about those balls, man.
if you are listening to us podcasts, follow the podcast, subscribe, drop us a review, leave us a few stars. Just tell the world how great and how much fun you have when you listen or watch us. Yeah.
It's
Forgot to
funnier
say
when
that
you
in the
watch.
beginning. So your balls are showing. Yeah. You guys want to leave it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I gotta bounce.
So this has been the Grim Fix podcast. Again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, or if you are listening to us via podcast platform, follow the podcast, drop a review, drop some stars. Let us hear from you. Drop a comment on the video. We spoke about all these killer nurses. We spoke about the show Wednesday. We spoke about White Lotus. Any of the topics we spoke about, if you want to comment, please drop your comment in the bottom. We want to hear from you. We remind you again, if you have a story you want us to read and discuss on one of our episodes, drop us a line at thegrimfixpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram. We are the Grim Fix Podcast. Even if your balls are showing.
Remember, we know nothing.
We know dick. Your balls are showing.
Blink.
Amarillo, amarillo, amarillo los plátanos.
All right, guys. See you next week. Be safe. This is the Grim Fix Podcast.
Yo.
Peace.
Your balls are showing.